let's talk about the board members first. Plenty of investor pressure to do this.
Yeah, there was. Like, this goes back to April. You had a handful of pension funds who were really pushing Elon to add people to his board. And this is because he has a 7-person board, one of whom is him. 5 of the other 6 have connections to him or to SpaceX or to Solar City, which has now been merged into Tesla. So they're basically mostly insiders who are helping him run the board. And as you recall back to the Solar City merger last summer, there was a lot of dissension among investors who said that that company too was run by his cousins, and you really had 2 boards of people who knew each other agreeing to get together. So you have all this pressure coming up, and then Elon said about April, okay, we're going to add 2 new members to the board. But a lot of shareholders still weren't happy. They wanted him to actually have annual elections instead of a staggered board with 3-year terms. So you put it all together, you have a couple of new people coming on. They're both media executives. I'm not sure this will keep everybody happy, though, because you still have a large number of kind of Elon insiders or friends right alongside him.
Yeah, and talking of, David, how investors might not always like what Elon Musk has to say, we have seen CEO Elon Musk saying over the weekend that the company's current share price, he in fact mentioned that perhaps, have a listen.
I've gone on record several times as saying that the stock price is higher than we have any right to deserve. And that's for sure true based on, where we are today and have been in the past. So the stock price obviously reflects a lot of optimism about where Tesla will be in the future.
Now, Musk cleared up those comments on Twitter today, writing that, I should clarify, Tesla stock is obviously high based on past and present, but low if you believe in Tesla's future. Place bets accordingly. David, what do you make of this backtracking, so to speak, and what it meant for the share price?
Well, it's just another day in the life of a Tesla investor, right? He says over the weekend they're overvalued, so the shares opened down. There's a car accident in one of his cars involving autopilot, and the shares go down some more. And then it turns out that it didn't really involve autopilot, according to the owner of the car, and the shares come back up a bit. So it bounces around all that in just one day of trading. That's kind of how these people live. Elon has said this before, that the shares are overvalued. I think he's trying to take maybe a little bit of the pressure off of himself, because they've got a very big year. They've got this year and next they've got to launch the Model 3. It has to be pretty flawless, and they've got to show a profit eventually to deliver on all of the expectations that even he is talking about.